Hello and welcome for today's show. Today, we're gonna talk about the world most colored country, India. India is not only famous for its colored culture, but also for its amazing and beautiful nature that they often say that India is heaven on earth. India is the second biggest country in population, with over 1 billion people, while some of them live in luxury lifestyle and some of them struggle to get food for the day. If you want to learn more about India, then you probably should watch this show, but if you want, you can travel to India.
This is a picture of the Indian landscape. As you can see, is India Peninsula and it's the eastern part of Asia. India is bordered by the Indian Ocean on the south, the Arabian Sea on the west, and the Bay of Bengal to the east. It borders Pakistan to the west, China, Nepal and Bhutan to the northeast, and Bangladesh and Burma to the east. The half part of the country is around the Indian Ocean.
India is a very old country. It was approximately found 55 to 70,000 years ago, but at that time, the modern people. They started out in the southern parts of India, where they slowly built the Indus Valley civilization. Indus is another word for Indian in Old Persian. But how come that the country is so big then? Since the native Indian population grew on rocks and mountains to be able to follow their tracks, the people that came after them figured that they owned the land, and the population suddenly increased a lot. Throughout the medieval India, several empires tried to overwin India, but they failed. Until the early modern India, when a powerful empire struck down India. Why can't the Indian population speak English? It's because of the British colonialization. During the late 17th century, the Brits took over the total eastern parts of India and some other parts in the country because of their natural resources. And then when the British people came to India, they used the Indian population as their slaves. Now in the modern India, India is a nation of freedom and a partial democracy. Did you know that Swami Vivekananda was an Indian man that brought yoga to Europe, and he made Hinduism an official world religion?
India is the birthplace of four of the major religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. The most common religion in India is Hinduism, with over 80% of the population. Hinduism developed 1000 before Christ, and it was when the Veda script were written. Hinduism is a colorful religion with a vast gallery of gods and goddesses. Hinduism has been a very important part of the country's culture and tradition because actually the world culture and tradition began when Hinduism was born, and thereafter the tradition and culture get bigger and it get developed. Religion. It is wrong to say that Hinduism is a religion because it's more like a system who have a lots of different religions. The biggest religion in Hinduism is Shaivism, Vaishnavism, Shaktism, and Smartism. There are so many differences between the religion, but the common for them who are called Hindus are respect for the sacred cow, the belief in karma, participation in the caste system, and the belief in reincarnation. The belief in karma means that you believe that you get what you deserved. The caste system is about the humans are not equals because of reincarnation, and reincarnation means after biological death begins a new life in a new body that may be human, animal, or spiritual, depending on the moral quality of the previous life's actions.
Since India is located in the subtropical parts of Asia, it has a lot of tropical animals, poisonous and non-poisonous. One of them is the Bengal tiger, which is famous all over the world, and the other one is very respected by the people, and it's very important for the Hinduism as well. Obviously, the holy cow. In India, the cow is regarded as a symbol for Ahimsa, which means non-violence, mother of goddess and bringer of health and wealth. Therefore, many Indians don't eat the meat that comes from a cow, or they're simply vegetarians. In India, feeding a cow is an amazing act of worship. But what's otherwise bad, if you see a cow stuck in traffic or sits down in the middle of the road, as an Indian citizen, you're not allowed to move it. If you try to move it or are an unbeliever, you will be given the bad eye by everyone at the street. In some regions, they take the cow so seriously that the law has strictly forbidden people to eat beef or the meat of a cow. Environmentally, this is really bad for India because this many cows that are alive on the streets of India causes that their farts and burps produces more methane, which is very harmful and wears out parts of the ozone upon India. This lets in the ultraviolet radiance that's poisonous and increases the probability of the Indian population to get skin cancer. Well, Indian traditions is a very wide discussion topic, but I will bring up the one celebration I think is the most interesting and fun. This celebration is called the Holi celebration, the spring festival. Personally, I would more like to call it the color play. People wear white clothing and then they play with different kinds of color. It's celebrated in the middle of March according to the Hindu calendar. Holi is a celebration of forgiveness and love and restoring friendships. And it's the way that the Hindu people show their gratitude to the goddess for every spring that has been, and they welcome the new one. The day before Holi, people and families gather, and they dance and sing, and they eat the great holy meal, and then they pray to their goddess. The day after, it's the carnival day, and people buy different kinds of colors, often the powder colors, and throw it at each other and show their love and compassion. There is also a water fight where people buy water guns with watercolor inside of it. At the carnival, you can play with whomever you want, even a stranger. It's a day of love and connection to the people.
You have certainly heard about Taj Mahal, one of 7 wonders of the world. Taj Mahal, who means crown of palaces, is a white marble mausoleum in Agra. It was built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his second wife, Mumtaz Mahal, who died during birth of their 4th child. Taj Mahal is a style who combines elements from Islamic, Persian, Ottoman, Turkish, and Indian architecture style. Construction of the Taj Mahal began in 1632, and the mausoleum was completed in 1648. But the garden were finished 5 years later. The Emperor Shah Jahan decided to bury the Taj Mahal when his wife died. He truly loved her so much that he decided to buy the palace just for her grave. Taj Mahal is built entirely of white marble. Its stunning architectural beauty is beyond adequate description, particularly at dawn and sunset. The Taj seemed to glow in the light of the full moon. Taj Mahal was a dream who came true for Shah Jahan, but for the world, Taj Mahal is a miracle.
Cricket. Cricket is a team game which is played between 2 teams of 11 players each. It's a bat and ball game. In India, cricket is by far the most popular sport and almost practiced like a religion. The pitch where the batsmen have to face the bowler is 22 yards. The objective of the game is to score more runs than the opposite team. The team bowling first tries to bowl out the batting side and then outscore them. Batting and bowling are those alternated.